Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost continues our live team coverage with a closer look at whether that's happening. Mackenzie, what are you learning?
Well, Kai and Mary, simply put, the Department of Juvenile Services is prohibited from discussing or disclosing any information about a young offender or their record. But as we continue to peel back the layers, we're learning that there is one group of people who is required to talk to schools. The only question is that happening? The 16-year-old suspect in the Joppatowne High School shooting had 10 different interactions with Harford County law enforcement since 2022.
Criminals don't tend to stay within county lines, so who knows how many interactions this young individual had with the police.
But in court this week, it was revealed he doesn't have a criminal record. As the investigation and case itself unfolds, we're looking into how school systems handle students who are involved in criminal activity outside the classroom. The Department of Juvenile Services is prohibited from notifying schools if a student is arrested or found guilty of a crime. But current state law requires law enforcement to notify a school district if a student is arrested for a reportable offense taking place not on school grounds or not during a school-sponsored event.
Would be things like crimes of violence such as robbery, rape, carjacking, murder, attempted murder, shootings.
Add arson, manslaughter, kidnapping to that list. Kurt Nachman, a Baltimore area defense attorney, also says weapons charges, drug dealing, and gang affiliation are also included. That notification to the school comes within 24 hours of the arrest or when possible.
I mean, what is the school going to do? Certainly, they're going to examine the situation and see whether or not the juvenile poses a danger to other students. So, there's a lot of sort of sticky factors associated with, your constitutional rights and your right to privacy as a juvenile. That need to be balanced out here in this situation.
In the latest Joppatowne instance, it's unclear what type of interactions with law enforcement the suspect had, meaning we don't really know if there was anything to report to Harford County Public Schools. And when a young person has an interaction with law enforcement, it's not always cut and dry.
Are they actually being placed under arrest? Are they being released to their parents and then subsequently charged later by way of a criminal information? Because that really isn't covered in the law.
We reached out to Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylor for an interview Wednesday, but he wasn't available. The sheriff's office sent us this operations policy for juveniles. That's where you can find the mandatory notification policy outlining the list of charges that must be reported to schools, noting it's up to the shift supervisor to ensure that notification was made. Maryland law does allow alternative learning experiences if a student is removed from the classroom setting. But before this year, some young offenders who had committed certain crimes like rape were still allowed in the classroom.
House Bill 1439.
Following reporting from Fox 45's Project Baltimore, minors on the Juvenile Sex Offender Registry are banned from attending school in person. That language signed into law earlier this year.
House Bill 814.
The Harford County mother behind the bill, lauded by lawmakers and Governor Wes Moore.
I just want to thank you. Thank you so much. This means so much more than you could ever imagine.
While lawmakers look ahead, Nachman says there are likely gaps in the current law that could be addressed.
We'll see if they're able to do something moving forward.
It's just a matter of whether they will when they return to Annapolis for session. Now, the State Department of Education is also required by law to issue a report at the end of the year to the governor and the General Assembly outlining these various reportable offenses. I'm working on tracking down a copy of the latest report, and we'll let you know when I've reviewed it. Live in the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.